What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to talk about the CRKN debacle. Last trade, $3.79, aka 2.5 pre-split. So the obvious question of this day is, did the CEO of the company royally fuck you right in the rear end, or is there quite possibly a way out of this mess? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach noon just north of Atlanta, Georgia, happy Tuesday to you. This will be my only video. Never more than 2 a week from here on out on YouTube. So I encourage you very much to stick around to the end, because I'm going to share with you the number one lesson that I've learned, not just with this stock, but with a couple other names that you might be familiar with. So don't go anywhere. Before I get started, I must once again say, shout out to all the haters. Oh my goodness. Are you guys on fire? Drop some more of it here over on Stock, Twits, Reddit, you name it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm apparently fat, even though I've lost 29 pounds in the last few months. I'm getting real gray. Doesn't that tend to happen when you're in your mid-50s? I look old, I look tired, and before you know it, I'm going to be impotent. So ladies, well, I can still pitch a solid tent. And by the way, I'm manscaped down here, not bald, but close. I'm ready to go. So let's get at it, ladies, before it's too late. My mother just laughed, rest her soul. She died in 2015. That was either going to be a rude and crude or she thought it was funny. She's still laughing. Get at me, ladies. I'm in the northern suburbs of Atlanta. It's fresh and clean. It even smells good. Yeah, I think I just crossed the line. All right, hopefully you got a laugh. All right, look, ladies and gentlemen, all kidding aside. Last trade, $3.88, aka 275 pre-split. Another all-time low. And for the record, we haven't bought a single fucking share since 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and change. Not one fucking share. And I'm the same guy for months in dozens of videos that told you to buy it under a nickel. And I put out a sell alert at 58.5 cents on X and YouTube with a photo telling you to take some profits. I personally got out, along with more than 500 strong inside of our private Discord community, between 28 and 30 cents a share. The problem, or the mistake that I made, is I stuck my hand back in the cookie jar. And I should have remembered what an old friend told me many, many years ago. It's awfully hard to get a souffle to rise twice. In other words, when you get a pump, whether it's FFIE, holy shit, from a nickel to 388, I said 375 and 189, sell it all. It goes all the way back down to 20 cents. Going to do another reverse split. They just did one 3 months ago. When you get the parabolic ramp and then you set that lower high, get the fuck out of Dodge and don't ever look back. I've seen it over and over again, and I don't know why I got seduced or duped or tricked, or I just made a fucking mistake that I'm willing to own up to. It is what it is. But you'll find if you go inside of our private Discord community in the new trades channel, we sold 20% of this stock at 10 cents a share. When you got the fake 30-day conditional, it was just like Mullen many moons ago. It was bullshit. They basically told him, you better have a proxy vote. You need to reverse split this stock. They obviously didn't meet the sniff test. I wonder why. And here we are. So we got the fuck out of Dodge. The mistake that I made, and I've made several with this stock over the last month or two, is we didn't mow it all the way down to 8. We stopped buying at 8. I will never buy another motherfucking share of this stock. Fool me once, shame on me. You fool me twice, shame on me, right? Say that fast about 5 times. Without any drugs or alcohol now for 2 weeks. But might I remind everybody, and again, don't go anywhere. This video is not for the haters. They're chewing their fingernails to the bone right now. Tough shit. You're only going to see me, guys, once a week, twice maybe, but this is it. So keep your cards and letters coming. I'm only getting in front of YouTube once or twice a week because I think there's maybe 50 to 100 people that I can save. There's a way out of your fucking misery. Because if you've been following me for the last 2.5 years or 10 months inside of the Discord, you know I believe in the 80-20 rule. in just about every aspect of life. 80% or thereabouts of your money should be married to the market in an IRA, in a SEP if you got a small business, a 401k, index funds, and ETFs. SPY, QQQ, IWM. 2,600 companies in 3 easy-to-manage index funds or ETFs that you dollar cost average into. You hold on until you retire 10, 20 years from now, and you double down every 3 or 4 years when we have a bear market and stocks drop 20% or more. That's 80% of your money. 62 for me, and I'm very aggressive. Maybe you're somewhere in the middle, but the vast majority of your money should be married, bought and held in the market for years to come. You never have in our system more than 7 core holdings. It's my job to find the 7 best stocks to trade, ranging from, let's say, a nickel to as much or no more than $10 a share. And as time goes on, as a way to offset the scalpers that somehow slip through the cracks, because we are not a day trading or a scalping organization at all. And if I find out you are, I used to say I'd hang you by your testicles in the middle of town square, but I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and show you more of a spiritual side. But don't waste your time or your money. We own a stock typically 30 to 60 days. We ease our way into it by buying 5% cash to open or half a position, and then we add smaller, what many of you might call average down 1 or 2%. It takes us weeks, sometimes months, to get a full position, and then we wait. And in the case of the Kraken, we were buying the stock for more than a year, all the way down to 041 and change. And through the grace of God, had the smarts to sell in 10% lots. And you can see it in the new trades channel, time and date stamp with photos, in fact, in the stock chat room, all the way up to 4944. A third of our stock was sold over 40 cents a share. And then I made the mistake, in case you didn't hear me, of rebuying the stock. But we sold 20% at a dime on the pump, and we never bought another share under 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and change. And never will. Why, you ask, now that we've established most of your money's in index funds and ETFs, and you only have 12 or 13% max in the Kraken with 6 other stocks and or cash at all motherfucking times? What have we learned here? Well, number one, the CEO of the company is about as big as a motherfucking dirtbag as it gets. Actually, let's just rephrase that to include Sal, who just stole MCOM when he wrote himself a convertible at a penny and a half to get 51% of the company on the pink sheets. And then, of course, Dave, who ultimately is going to have another Fisker on his hands. Most of those low to mid-tier EV players are going to be out of business within 2 or 3 years. But I got duped by a guy that I had a phone call with 2 or 3 times. And I should have known, shame on me, the last time we spoke about a month ago when he says, I want you out of the stock. Just sell it all right now. Do it, do it, do it. That's an almost verbatim quote. He knows it, I know it. And it was around a dime. And I stupidly, foolishly hung on. However, I stuck to my principles with respect to trading. We have a green, we have a yellow, we have a red circle by every stock inside of our 7 core holdings and the buy zone. Every fucking morning at 7 a.m. and again at 1 in the afternoon, I tell you what to buy and where. There's no thinking required. I've made all the mistakes, including this one, in the last 30 years, so you don't have to. So that anytime you log in your busy day, you know exactly what you can buy and where, to the millifucking penny. But I made the mistake, in case you haven't heard me 4 or 5 times by now, of going back in. But because of our discipline, we didn't buy any more when it went to a red and below 8 cents a share. We didn't buy another fucking share and never will, all the way down to 2 or maybe even 1 and change, which would be under $3 a share. And because we have 80%, 62%, 70% for many of you in index funds and ETFs, it is actually 3% or less of the total portfolio. No more than 13% of the fuck around and find out money in your trading account. The stock could literally go to 0, and it's not gonna. And it wouldn't make a hill of beans. In fact, if you're in the Discord, you know this. We had a biotech that we just took a 25% profit on this morning. Sold it at 35, bought it back at 27 and change. Last trade, 29 and a half. That's the second time in about a month and a half in the same stock. 50% return almost, not quite, almost wipes out the Kraken drawdown, which is nasty at north of 65% as we speak on the rebuy. But even if I had to sell it right here and take a 65% loss on nearly a 13% position, Because I made 5x 2 months ago, getting out at 28 to 30, I'm still left with a net return of 225%. So in closing, what's the number one lesson that I've learned? And I really appreciate it. Haters and all for sticking around. This is very important. Penny stock advocacy. Screaming and hollering at CEOs in stocks below $1 doesn't work. I tried and failed with Mullen. Dozens of fucking videos. Stop the dilution. Enhance and defend shareholder value. It fucking failed. MCOM, it fucking failed. And a guy that I defended, Doug, many times when they wanted him fucking in jail over on StockTwits. I don't want to say he lied to me, but there's some untruths. I asked him point blank several times, are you going to buy some stock? Yes. I intend to buy stock. I can't right now because of NASDAQ fucking bullshit. That was the excuse for 9 months. Bullshit excuse. But I believed him. Are you going to stop diluting? Get off the ELOC like you and Joel said 2 conference calls ago and focus on a non-dilutive line of credit? Yes. That's our intention. Both were either an outright motherfucking lie or an untruth. You decide. And not only did he not defend shareholder value and get off the dilution and do what I felt 30 years, half of that as a broker was right, they fucking increased the outstanding 10x in the last 3 or 4 months. They repriced the preferred under a nickel. They took care of the insiders. They issued 65 million or thereabouts shares, again on a stock reverse split adjusted that's 2 cents and change. And then they gave the Keystone Cops 300 million shares. For what? I'm not a lawyer, but I'd be real curious if I was. Why, oh why, did you give them twice as much as the outstanding motherfucking shares that you had since you came public 2.5, 3 years ago? Inquiring minds want to know, but we're probably never going to get an answer to that question. But as I just said, my days of ranting and raving on YouTube have not only been reduced to 1 or 2 videos a week, but I'm getting out of the business of advocacy. I rarely, if ever, have to do it. Why? Our win rate, yes, is over 99% for 2.5 years. 1 loss. This will probably be number 2 in the last almost 10 months. 500 plus winners, over 100 inside the Discord, and we're not even talking about the Ask Jason, which is another 300 winners. 1 loss, probably the same fucking stock is going to hit me in the next 30 to 60 days. But because it's a tiny portion, 3% or less of the overall portfolio, we won't even feel it. And we'll get another biotech like we just did. We've got 6 other stocks that we currently own that are doing just fucking fine. But it doesn't work. I can make total sense. I can get thousands of people to watch, agree, and even buy the stock based on my advice, my opinion, my experience. But these motherfuckers, in most cases, are still going to dilute, and they're still going to reverse split their stock for as long as they can fucking get away with it. Because in many cases, it's a lifestyle company. You don't fucking issue 60 million shares, in my opinion, to take care of your employees, no matter how good the fucking fiber optic business is doing, when your stock is down 99.999%. That is not enhancing or maintaining or protecting shareholder value. That's all about you, the employees, and the insiders, and to hell with Jason and the hundreds of people and thousands more that have supported your fucking stock for the better part of the last year to year and a half. So, if you want to know when I'm selling a stock that I'll never buy another share of, if you want to know what it's like to be right close to 99% of the time and get yourself out of this fucking ditch, shopsmallbiz.com. You get a Discord, which is 2/3 of our members if you don't have a small biz, premium if you do. One more time, shopsmallbiz.com. And until next time, always remember that I love you, haters and all. Thanks for watching. Or you're really manscaped? Yeah. Level 1 on the